Hello, everyone, and welcome back to EasyTalk English. I'm Linda, and I'm really happy you're here with us today. If you're looking for a simple and natural way to improve your English, you're in the right place. Today's topic is something very real, something we all experience, but we don't always understand. We're going to talk about emotional triggers.
Hey everyone, I'm Alex. Let me ask you something. Have you ever reacted strongly to something and later wondered why? Maybe someone said something small, but you felt really upset. Or maybe you got angry very quickly, and after that you thought, why did I react like that?
Yes, I think we've all had moments like that. Sometimes we overreact, and we don't even understand why. It can feel confusing, and sometimes even a little embarrassing. You might tell yourself, it's not a big deal, so why do I feel this way?
Exactly. And the interesting thing is, sometimes it's not really about the situation. It's not just about what happened in that moment.
That's right. Sometimes it's something deeper. Sometimes it's your emotional trigger. Something small happens, but it connects to a deeper feeling inside you, and that's why your reaction feels so strong.
So in today's episode, we're going to explore this together in a simple and easy way.
We'll talk about what emotional triggers are, why we have them, and how we can deal with them in our daily life. And of course, you'll learn useful English phrases to talk about your feelings more clearly.
If you've ever felt confused about your own reactions, this episode is definitely for you.
And before we start, if you enjoy learning real-life English with us, don't forget to like and subscribe to EasyTalk English. It really helps us grow and create more content for you.
All right, let's get started. So Linda, let's start with a simple question. What exactly is an emotional trigger?
That's a great question. An emotional trigger is something that causes a strong emotional reaction. It can be a situation, a word, or even a small action from someone else.
So it's not just about what happens, but how we feel inside, right?
Exactly. For example, imagine someone ignores you. Maybe they don't reply to your message, or they don't say hello. For some people, it's not a big problem, but for others, it can feel very hurtful.
Yeah, I felt that before. Sometimes I think, did I do something wrong? Even if it's just a small thing.
That's a perfect example. Another common trigger is criticism. If someone says you're not doing well or gives negative feedback, you might feel angry or upset very quickly.
Right. And sometimes the reaction feels very strong, even stronger than the situation.
Yes, and that's the key idea here. When we talk about emotional triggers, the reaction is often bigger than the situation. That's how we know something deeper is happening.
So it's different from a normal reaction.
Yes, a normal reaction is usually calm and balanced, but when you are triggered, your emotions feel stronger, faster, and sometimes harder to control.
That makes sense. It's like your feelings go from 0 to 100 very quickly.
Exactly. Let's look at a few simple situations. For example, being interrupted. If someone talks over you, you might feel annoyed. But if it's a trigger, you might feel really angry or disrespected.
Oh yes, I don't like being interrupted. It makes me feel like my opinion doesn't matter.
That's a very real feeling. Another example is being compared to someone else. If someone says, "Why can't you be like them?" it can hurt a lot.
Yeah, that one is tough. It can make you feel like you're not good enough.
Exactly. And one more common trigger is rejection. Maybe someone doesn't invite you, or they say no to you. Even if it's small, it can feel very painful.
So basically, emotional triggers are everywhere in daily life.
Yes, they are very common, but the important thing is to understand them. When you know what triggers you, you can start to understand your feelings better.
I like that. It's not about stopping your emotions, but understanding them.
Exactly. And that's the first step to dealing with them in a healthy way.
All right, now that we understand what emotional triggers are, let's talk about some common situations in real life. I think this part is really important because many people don't realize they are being triggered until they hear examples like this. When you hear these situations, you might suddenly think, oh, I do that too. And that's when things start to become clearer.
Yes, exactly. Let's start with something very common, rejection, or being ignored. This is one of the biggest emotional triggers for many people, even if they don't talk about it. For example, you send a message to someone, and they don't reply for hours or even days. On the surface, it looks like a small thing,
but inside it can create a strong emotional reaction.
I can really relate to that. When someone doesn't reply to my message, I try to stay calm at first, but after a while, my mind starts to create stories. I begin to think, did I say something wrong? Or maybe they don't care about me. And even if I know it might not be true, I still feel a little hurt and uncomfortable.
That's a very honest example, and I think many people feel the same way. In that situation, you can express it in English by saying, I feel triggered when people don't reply to my messages. It makes me feel like I'm not important. It's a simple sentence, but it clearly shows both the situation and the emotion behind it.
Yes, I like that structure. It helps you explain your feelings in a calm and clear way instead of just reacting emotionally. And I think that's very useful in real conversations, especially when you want to understand yourself better.
Now, let's move to another common trigger, criticism. This is something almost everyone experiences, whether it's at work, at school, or even in personal relationships. When someone says something like, "You're not doing well," it can feel much stronger than just a simple comment.
That's very true for me. When I hear criticism, even if it's meant to help, my first reaction is usually defensive. I feel like I need to explain myself or protect what I did. Sometimes I even feel a little upset or angry, even before I fully understand what the other person is trying to say.
Yes, that reaction is very natural. When we feel criticized, it can feel like a personal attack, even if it's not. You can describe this by saying, I feel triggered when someone criticizes me. It makes me feel upset and defensive. This kind of sentence helps you slow down and understand your own reaction instead of just reacting immediately.
I think that's really helpful because sometimes we don't realize how quickly we react. We just feel something strong and then we respond without thinking. But when we can name the feeling, it becomes easier to manage.
Exactly. Now, let's talk about comparison, which can be a very painful trigger for many people. This usually happens when someone compares you to another person, especially in a negative way. For example, when someone says, "Why can't you be like them?" it can really affect how you see yourself.
Yes, I remember hearing that kind of sentence when I was younger, and it never felt good. It made me feel like I wasn't enough, or like I was always behind someone else. Even now, when I hear comparisons, I can still feel a little uncomfortable inside.
That's completely understandable. Comparison often creates feelings of insecurity because it makes you focus on what you don't have. You can express this by saying, I feel triggered when people compare me to others. It makes me feel insecure. This is a very common experience, and it's important to be able to talk about it.
Yes, and I think many listeners will connect with that. It's not just about what people say, but how it makes you feel about yourself.
Exactly. And finally, let's talk about something more internal, the feeling of not being good enough. This is a trigger that doesn't always come from other people. Sometimes it comes from your own thoughts and beliefs.
I think this one is very real for a lot of people. For example, when I see someone more successful than me, I sometimes start thinking, I'm not doing enough, or I'm not good enough. Even if no one says anything, those thoughts can still affect my emotions.
Yes, that's a perfect example. In this case, you can say, I feel triggered when I think I'm not good enough. It makes me doubt myself. This kind of self-doubt can be very quiet, but also very powerful.
I agree, and I think it's important to remember that these feelings are normal. Everyone has moments like this, even if they don't talk about it.
That's right. The goal is not to remove all your triggers, because that's not realistic. The goal is to understand them better so you can respond in a calmer and more aware way.
And I think the sentence patterns we use today are a great start. They are simple, but they help you express your feelings clearly.
Yes, just remember, I feel triggered when, and it makes me feel. These two patterns can help you talk about many different situations in your life.
And when you can explain your feelings, you also start to understand yourself better. And that's a very powerful thing.
So now that we've talked about some common emotional triggers, the next question is, why do we have them? Where do these strong reactions come from? The simple answer is that many of our triggers come from past experiences. They can come from childhood, from difficult moments, or from old emotional pain that we haven't fully processed.
That's really interesting because it means our reactions today are not just about the present moment. They are connected to things that happened before, sometimes a long time ago. Even if we don't think about those experiences every day, they can still affect how we feel now.
Yes, exactly. In a very simple way, you can think of it like this. Your past is still inside you. The experiences you had, especially the emotional ones, don't just disappear. They stay in your memory, and sometimes they show up again when something similar happens.
I can see that in real life. For example, if someone had the experience of being ignored or left out when they were younger, they might feel very sensitive to that situation later. So if someone doesn't reply to their message, even if it's not a big deal, it can still feel very painful.
That's a perfect example. The current situation is small, but it connects to a deeper feeling from the past. That's why the reaction feels so strong. It's not just about what is happening now, but also about what happened before.
So in that case, the person is not overreacting for no reason. There is actually a reason behind it, even if they don't fully understand it yet.
Exactly. And this is a very important idea to remember. Your reaction is not random. It may feel confusing, but there is always a reason behind it. Your emotions are trying to tell you something.
I like that idea because it changes how we see ourselves. Instead of thinking, why am I like this? We can start asking, where is this feeling coming from?
Yes, that's a much kinder way to look at it. Let's take another example. Imagine someone who was often criticized when they were younger. Maybe their parents or teachers were very strict, and they heard a lot of negative comments. Later in life, even small feedback can feel very strong to them.
That makes a lot of sense. Even if the new feedback is normal or helpful, it could still feel like a personal attack because it connects to those old experiences.
Exactly. And the same thing can happen with comparison. If someone grew up being compared to others all the time, they may develop a strong emotional reaction to comparison later. Even a simple comment can make them feel insecure or not good enough.
So it's like the present situation is just a trigger, but the real emotion comes from something deeper inside.
Yes, that's a very good way to say it. The trigger is like a button, and when it is pressed, it brings up old feelings. That's why the reaction can feel bigger than the situation.
I think this is really helpful to understand because it also means we don't need to blame ourselves for our emotions. We can be more patient and try to understand where they come from.
Exactly. The goal is not to judge yourself, but to understand yourself. When you understand your triggers, you can slowly learn how to respond differently. You don't need to change everything at once, but awareness is the first step.
And I think many people will feel relieved when they hear this, because sometimes we think something is wrong with us, but actually, it's just a natural response to our past experiences.
Yes, and that's a very important message. You are not too emotional or too sensitive. You are simply human, and your emotions have a history. When you start to see that, you can begin to treat yourself with more understanding and care. All right, now it's time for a short practice. This is your moment to speak, not just listen. Don't worry about being perfect. Just try to say the sentences out loud and feel comfortable using them.
Yes, just relax and follow us. You can pause the audio if you need more time. The goal here is to help you speak naturally and build confidence step by step.
Let's start with some simple sentences. Repeat after us. I feel triggered sometimes. I don't understand my reactions. I want to stay calm. I can understand myself better. I am learning to control my emotions.
Good job. If you feel a little slow or unsure, that's completely okay. The important thing is that you are practicing and using your voice.
Now let's try a couple of speaking questions. Take a moment to think and then answer out loud in your own words. What triggers you easily? How do you usually react? You can keep your answers simple. For example, you can say, I feel triggered when, and then explain your situation. Or you can say, it makes me feel, and describe your emotion. Yes, just try your best. There's no pressure here. This is a safe space for you to practice and improve, one small step at a time.
As we come to the end of today's episode, let's take a moment to reflect on what we talked about. Emotional triggers are a normal part of being human. Everyone has them, even if they don't always show it. And if you sometimes feel like your reactions are too strong, you're not alone in that.
Yes, that's very important to remember. You are not too sensitive, and there is nothing wrong with you. Your emotions are real, and they come from your experiences. Instead of judging yourself, try to understand yourself a little more each day.
I think one of the biggest takeaways from today is this. Understanding yourself is the first step. When you begin to notice your triggers, you start to see patterns. And when you see those patterns, you can slowly change how you respond.
Exactly. And you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to control every emotion right away. Just being aware of your feelings is already a big step forward. Small awareness can lead to big changes over time.
Before we finish, we'd like to ask you a simple question. Take a quiet moment and think about it.
What is one trigger you want to understand better?
You can keep your answer simple. Maybe it's something like being ignored, being criticized, or comparing yourself to others. Just noticing it is already meaningful.
If you feel comfortable, you can share it with us in the comments. You can write, "One thing that triggers me is," and complete the sentence in your own way.
And if you felt connected to this episode, if you saw yourself in these situations, don't forget to like the video. It helps more people find this kind of content.
And subscribe to EasyTalk English if you want to keep improving your English through real-life conversations like this. All right, that's all for today. Remember, you are not overreacting. You are just learning what's inside you.